Hello everybody, it's Paul here. I'm going to read you a book about a cat today. It's called Mog the Forgetful Cat. And as it happens, I actually have a cat, real cat here. Here she is. She's not too happy to be here. Her name is Ella. She's my cat. So she's come for the story as well. I don't know if you can hear her making little kind of purry, chirping noises. She's a little bit of an unusual cat. If she's still around at the end, I'll show her again. So this is the book we're going to read. It is in our reading canon. If you've not already had a look at the reading canon on the website, go into the curriculum area and you can download the entire reading canon. And when you come back to school, ask your teachers about it. They've also got some reading canon books in your classrooms that you can borrow. So this is the book. It's actually 40 years old, believe it or not. In fact, it's probably more than 40 years because this was bought a few years ago. And it's written by Judith Kerr, who unfortunately died quite recently, but she was very, very old. So here we've got our characters for the story. Let's see, we've got Mrs. Thomas, Mr. Thomas. We've got Nikki over here, Debbie, and this, of course, is Mog. So once there was a cat called Mog. She lived with a family called Thomas. Mog was nice, but not very clever, very much like my cat. She didn't understand a lot of things, again, very much like my cat. A lot of other things she forgot, again, a lot like my cat. She was a very forgetful cat. Very pleased with herself there. The garden always made Mog very excited. She smelled all the smells, she chased the birds, she climbed the trees, she ran round and round with a big fluffed up tail, and then she forgot the cat flap. She forgot that she had a cat flap. She wanted to go back into the house, but she couldn't remember how. The cat flap is like a little door for a cat to get in. It's down on the floor. If you ever see a cat sticking its tongue out a bit like that, often when they're drinking water, they forget to stick their tongue back in. In the end, she sat outside the kitchen window and meowed until someone let her in. Afterwards, you could always tell where she had sat. This made Mr. Thomas very sad. He said, "Bother that cat." But Debbie said, "She's nice." This is sometimes how I feel about my cat. Once Mog had a very bad day. Even the start of the day was bad. Mog was still asleep. Then Nicky picked her up. He hugged her and said, "Nice kitty." Mog said nothing, but she was not happy. No, she's not very happy. Be careful, a cat's scratching. Then it was breakfast time. Mog forgot that cats have milk for breakfast. She forgot that cats have only eggs as a treat. She ate an egg for her breakfast. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "Nicky doesn't like eggs anyway." I don't know if you've got a cat, it's nice, might try and eat your food or jump up if it smells something it likes. When we're having fish, my cat will jump right up and also like get on my shoulder and try and like grab some of my food. Mog looked through her cat flap. It was raining in the garden. Mog thought, perhaps the sun is shining in the street. When the milkman came, she ran out. The milkman shut the door. The sun was not shining in the street after all. It was raining. A big dog came down the street. Mog ran. The dog ran too. Not quite sure what emotion that dog's feeling. It's a little bit, I'm not quite sure it's pleased with itself or not. Mog ran right round the house, and the dog ran after her. She climbed over the fence, she ran through the garden, and jumped up outside the kitchen window. She meowed a big meow, very suddenly and very loud. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "It wasn't her fault." What's happened? Got quite the fright there. We've got the peas all over the floor. Disaster. Mog's face. Everyone's very happy now. Don't miss the dog's face. fancy meeting him in a dark alley. Mog was very sleepy. She found a nice, warm, soft place and went to sleep. She had a lovely dream. Mog dreamed that she had wings. You ever had that dream that you've got wings and you're chasing after some birds? She could fly everywhere. She could fly faster than the birds, even quite big birds. Suddenly, she woke up. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "I think you look nicer without a hat." Debbie gave Mog her supper, and Mog ate it all up. Then Debbie and Nicky went to bed. Found a bit of fish there. Mog had a rest too, but Mr. Thomas wanted to see the fight. Mr. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." He's watching some boxing, I think, on the TV. Mog thought, "Nobody likes me." Then she thought, "Debbie likes me." Debbie's door was open. Debbie's bed was warm. Debbie's hair was soft, like kitten fur. Mog forgot that Debbie was not a kitten. Ooh, not quite sure how clean your hair would be after a cat had had a good looking at it. Often cats' breath smell a little bit of fish and cat food. Debbie had a dream. It was a bad dream. It was a dream about a tiger. The tiger wanted to eat Debbie. It was licking her hair. I think it might actually be Mog. Debbie shouted, "Ah!" Mog jumped. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother, bother, bother that cat." Debbie said nothing. She was still crying because of the bad dream. Oh dear, that face. It tells its own story. Mog ran out of the room and right through the house and out of a cat flap. She was very sad. The garden was dark. The house was dark too. Mog sat in the dark and thought dark thoughts. She thought, "Nobody likes me. They've all gone to bed. There's no one to let me in. And they haven't even given me my supper." Then she noticed something. The house was not quite dark. There was a little light moving about. She looked through the window and saw a man in the kitchen. Mog thought, "Perhaps that man will let me in. Perhaps he will give me my supper." What did you notice about this man? He's wearing the international uniform of a burglar. You ever see a burglar? They're always wearing a red striped top and like a little mask like that. Is that right? All burglars look like that? I think they do in books. For some reason, it seems to think their spoons might be quite valuable. I'm not sure if that would be what I would do if I was a burglar, but anyway. He's taking that picture. She meowed her biggest meow. Very suddenly and very, very loud, the man was surprised. He dropped his bag. It made a big noise, and everybody in the house woke up. Mr. Thomas ran down to the kitchen and shouted, "A burglar!" The burglar said, "Bother that cat." Mrs. Thomas telephoned the police. Debbie let Mog in, and Nicky hugged her. Appreciate that photo, that picture again. I can see a cat doing that. I love a picture of it. A policeman came and they told him what had happened. The policeman looked at Mog. He said, "What a remarkable cat. I've seen watchdogs, but never a watched cat." She will get a medal. Debbie said, "I think she'd rather have an egg." I'm not quite sure, but for some reason the burglar's getting a cup of tea too. I'm not sure if that's normally what happens when the burglar's caught. Mog had a medal. She also had an egg every day for breakfast. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas told all their friends about her. They said, Mog is really remarkable, and they never, or almost never, said, bother that cat. See how proud she is. And that is the end of the story. Okay. There's lots of other Mog stories if you enjoyed that and you'd like to read some more. One I would recommend is Mog's Bad Thing, where Mog has a little accident, which is a really fun story to read. Please make sure you do some more reading yourself. If you enjoyed this and it's on YouTube, you can give it a like, yeah, and make sure you keep reading. I'm just looking at my cat. I'm going to go and get her and give you one last look at her. Hang on. Bye-bye. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.